Navs Comics, congratulations, you won last week's giveaway. Comic fam, we have some hot comics to discuss. Scalding hot comics at the list at number 10. Hit that like button. Stay tuned to the end. We got a giveaway on deck. We're talking Guardians of the Galaxy, a tough book. We're talking about Groot. Gem, hit him with number 10.
That's right, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell. We're here for you twice a week. And we're not talking about baby Groot. We're not even talking about cool, friendly Groot from the first movie. We're talking about pre-hero Groot from Tales to Astonish.
Issue number 13, back in March, could have been secured for $1,888. Officially branched off past the 2K marker, an uptick of 22% this week, selling for $2,300.
And who says money doesn't grow on trees? The CGC 4.0, which sold for $2,550 back in March, is up 76%, now selling for $4,500.
Utilize that code Tom101 on the best comic app in existence. We're talking Key Collector Comics. You support the show, but get access to a wealth of comic knowledge and all of this data that's been compiled for you to read prior to our video coming out at the list at number 9. Uncanny XMen, issue number 64, underappreciated, undervalued mutants to discuss. The first appearance of Sunfire.
That's a good point. Sunfire has never been utilized in live-action movies, and he's primed to be tapped for some type of giant-sized X-Men movie. And we're seeing record-breaking sales to back that up. The CGC 2.0 sold for $425 back in September 2020, but it's up 74% in 2021, selling for $738.
The 9.4 could have been secured back in 2015 for $1,500. That's up 62% this week, selling for $2,425. Comic fam, a lot of attention is being focused on blue chip keys, mutants that have already been seen on the screen. Keep an eye out for characters like Longshot. Keep an eye out for characters like Gold Balls. Keep an eye out for Gambit because he hasn't been done right yet. And the moment that there is even a hint, book's about to blow up.
Yeah, and if they're doing something with Krakoa, you know they need Gold Balls for the Resurrection Protocol. Moving on to number 8, we're talking Amazing Spider-Man issue 2. Could it be because of the Sinister Six formation in Spider-Man No Way Home? Vulture's making the list with his first appearance.
That's right, the first appearance of the Terrible Tinkerer and the third appearance of Spider-Man. Not too shabby. Blue chip keys, single-digit Spidey Ditko goodness. We got some records to talk about. A 3.0 back in May could have been secured for $2,640. This week, up 27%. Was it because of the trailer? You tell us in the comment section. This book just sold for $3,350.
Yeah, I'd like to see Michael Keaton back in the mix. The 4.5 sold for $4,000 back in July, and it's holding steady with a 13% increase, now selling for $4,500.
Then we got the 5.5 going for $4,800. Also as recently as this past July, up 19%. Selling for $5,724 this week. Got me so hyped, my voice is cracking. We have to move forward though to number 7 on the list. We got to talk about some more Spider-Man covers, more double-digit Spidey, more major events in the Spidey mythos. We're talking ASM 16, the first meeting of Spider-Man and the Daredevil.
Now, everybody assumes it's Charlie Cox slamming those papers down on the table with that white dress shirt while Peter Parker's in jail. But what if, just what if, it's Ben Affleck? We're talking about the CGC 3.5. This book sold for $610 back in June. It's up 6%, now selling for $650. The 4.5 also sold for $610, but back in August, it's up 7%, now also selling for $650.
The prices aren't keeping up with these rapidly moving comic books. The 6.5 back in May sold for $1,100, up 45%, now selling for $1,600 this week. And the 8.0 went for $1,917 back in May. That's up 25%, selling for $2,400 this week. I smell price correction coming.
All right, guys, number 6 on the list. We've been talking about this character for a couple of weeks now. We're talking about Thor 165, the first full appearance of him who would later become Adam Warlock.
We're talking the first cover appearance of him, Adam Warlock. Get your Guardians of the Galaxy keys ready, because if anything similar happens to Suicide Squad, we're talking the James Gunn effect, this book is going to blast off more than it has in the last couple months. We're talking a 2.5 back in April, hitting $150, up 47%, now selling for $220 this week.
The 4.0 sold for $260 in May. It's up 62%, now selling for $420.
Then we got the 5.0 going for $585 back in August, up 7% this week, selling for $625. And oh wait, there is more. Key Collector Comics was informed this week by an inside source that actor Alex Skarsgård is one of not one, but 3 actors who did a test screening for a character at Marvel with gold painted skin.
Are you sure it's not Gold Balls?
I don't think Gold Balls has gold skin, but we can cross our fingers. Comic fam, what do you think about this news in the comment section below? And let's talk about Green Lantern 87 at number 5.
The first appearance of Jon Stewart, the second appearance of Guy Gardner. I don't know if we've ever had this book on the list. It's always been one of my favorite Green Lantern keys, and I'm sure it's the HBO Max series that's coming soon that has this book bubbling.
We're hearing rumors that Sinestro's going to make an appearance. Jessica Cruz, Simon Baz, Alan Scott, Guy Gardner. The list goes on, but we know that Jon Stewart has to make an appearance with that kind of lineup. And with that white cover and that thick book, it is terribly difficult to secure this in high grade, and the numbers are proving it today. A 4.5 back in July could have been secured for $360. That's up 39% this week, selling for $500 even.
A 7.0, which sold for $825 back in June, is up 20%, now selling for $988, just shy of $1,000.
Then we got that 8.0 going for $950 back in April, up 58%, selling for $1,500. Comic fam, you got 1 day left. If this video came out in time, you got until tonight, the 15th at midnight, to join the September mystery mail call. We have Trial of Magneto, Raph Grassetti variant, Logan with claws out, going in 1 per box, Virgins going out at random, not 1 per box. It's a mystery box. Good luck. Hit ComicTom101.com to join, or hit the link in the description to support what we do. And let's talk about more Spidey at number 4.
Another white cover, another square-bound book. We're talking the first appearance of the Sinister Six, and we're going to continue to see this book make gains until the movie comes out, I'm sure.
We got the third appearance of multiple characters from Spidey's Rogues Gallery. We're talking the Vulture, Kraven, Electro, Mysterio, Sandman, and we have the highest ungraded copy that's come to market this year break a record. We're talking about a mid to low grade sale of $2,800 this week.
And also, this book was number 7 on last week's Hot 10 list, so moving up in the ranks here. A CGC 6.5, which sold for $2,000 back in March of 2020, is up 138%, now selling for $4,750.
A mid-grade copy back in 2020 is going for what a low-grade copy is going for this very week. Exactly the reason why we have to cover some of these books week over week. When they land this high on our list, when they repeat themselves on the list in such a short time, it proves that these books are worth watching. The trajectory is placing them here. Where they're going is unseen, but we're going to be here to follow it. Hit the subscribe button. An 8.5 going for $9,000 back in July has blown past the $10,000 marker, up 44% this week, hitting $13,000.
That $9,000 all-time high was actually broken twice this week. Not only that $13,000 sale, but it also had an $11,133 sale.
At the list at number 3, inside sources tell Key Collector that we have the next Black Panther. Black Panther issue number 2. We're talking the first appearance of Shuri.
We're talking her first appearance, but keep on the lookout for issue 5, where she takes up the mantle as Black Panther. We have a couple of record breakers to announce here. We have an 8.5, which sold for $230 back in August, up 9%, selling for $250. A 9.0, which sold for $230 back in January, is up 30%, now selling for $300.
Then we're going to also squeeze in an extra record breaker here. You're welcome, comic fam. We have a 9.6 newsstand copy. Last week selling for $1,625, and that is substantially more than what the 9.8 record breaker was this week. We have a 9.6 direct market copy selling for $679. Prior sale was $500 back in August. That's an increase of 36%. You feeling that barcode effect? The 9.8 has an all-time record breaker this week for a direct market copy, selling for $1,100 last week, up 18% this week with a new all-time high of $1,300. Shy of $300 of a newsstand 9.6. Imagine when a 9.8 newsstand comes to market.
And I'm sure as we get closer to the movie, we're going to continue to see this book make these lists. Moving on to number 2, we have Amazing Spider-Man 5, more single-issue Silver Age Steve Ditko goodness, the first meeting of Spider-Man and Dr. Doom.
The first battle between our hero and the FFO. We have multiple record breakers. We keep telling you, secure your single-digit Spidey while you can, regardless of the grade. However, when there is a minor key moment, an event, something memorable, those are being hunted for now more than ever, especially as blue chip keys spike off. We have a 4.0 hitting $1,445 back in May, up 18%, selling for $1,700 this week. The 6.0 hitting $1,700 in January, up 82% this week, selling for $3,100.
And then we have the next one up, a 6.5, which sold for $2,340 back in May. It's up 50%, now selling for $3,500.
Hit that like, slap the subscribe button. If you do, it'll enter you to win a King in Black #1, courtesy of Nick Klein on the cover. And I want to hear what the community is speculating on based off of the comics that made our list this week. Help your fellow members. And at the list at #1 Gem, hit them with the #1 hottest book in the cosmos, in the multiverse.
And it's a book that we haven't talked about since around this time last year. We're talking Invincible Iron Man issue 9. We're talking about the Chris Turcotte variant, the first appearance of Riri Williams.
The first full appearance of a character that's going to be taking on the mantle of Tony Stark, confirmed for over 20 different appearances in the MCU, whether it be Disney Plus or films. She's coming. And these books are spiking specifically because this incentive variant was released unlike how they are currently being released by Marvel.
That's right. During this comic's release, you couldn't just buy 25 copies to get that ratio. There was other things you had to do to unlock the possibility to even get this ratio incentive.
The stores back in the day, rather than just ordering 25 copies to unlock an incentive, would have to have a certain quota met of the prior issues. Upwards of 90% of what they ordered for issue #7 to secure a ratio variant for issue #9. Considering issue by issue there is a tremendous drop-off, it made it so that this particular incentive was received far less than what you would expect incentives to be received by stores today.
And put it this way, that program is no longer in use today, so I guess it didn't work out too well. And also, speaking of this time last year, when we last reported on this book, there were 83 CGC 9.8s on the census, and now there's 115.
Let's look at the numbers. The 8.5 could have been secured for $326 this past June. And this all-time record was broken twice this week. We have a new all-time high, an increase of 145%, selling for $800.
Then we have the CGC 9.6. Last week, this book sold for $1,205. There were 8 more sales since then, and 3 of them broke the record, the highest being with a 49% increase, selling for $1,800.
Then we have the 9.8. Prior record puts it at $2,550 back in May. And the 9.8 record was broken twice this week with an all-new high, an increase of 100%. About to clear $5,000 any day now. New record puts it at $4,995.
Woo! Riri going for big money. Make sure to like and subscribe. We're here for you every week. And actually, we have our top 10 honorable mentions coming out in a few days, so stay tuned for that.
We appreciate your time today, Comic Fam, as always.
Geek responsibly and stay minty fresh.
Enough said. Comic Fam, we got 2 other videos for you to check out. We got the honorable mentions video Jem was just telling you about, the books that almost made our Hot 10, but still had some monster record breakers. And if If you're looking for some longer content, more expensive paper talk, peep the podcast and have a great week.